Hello and welcome to another episode of the Adrienne Ross. Yeah, why am I laughing? Because I look over and my cat is looking at me like, what are you doing and who do you think you are? So, come on, Cole. I got the other cat over there. I can hear him in the litter box. This cat staring at me like, who do you think you are? Listen, this is the Adrienne Ross Show, where sports and culture connect. Now, I don't hardly even know where to start. Hardly know where to start because the people losing their lunch over the Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, Lexi Hull, Sophie Cunningham, Natasha Howard. Let's see. DeWanna Bonner and Sydney Colson, and who else knows what. That team, along with Stephanie White and leadership GM Amber Cox and President Kelly Krauskopf. I mean, the amount of people losing their lunch over a basketball team. This is it's just so telling. It really is. The Indiana Fever is assembling a team to compete at the professional level like the team is supposed to do. And people out there all are buzz like there's a conspiracy going on. Kathy Engelbert is doing her best to make sure Caitlin Clark wins the championship. It's intentional. Really. All of a sudden, things are intentional for Caitlin Clark's benefit. When we told you guys that people were fouling Caitlin intentionally, oh no, that's not intentional. When we talked about how difficult the schedule was, that I'm sure Kathy Engelbert doesn't make, but certainly has to put her stamp of approval on, some people thought that schedule was made really hard intentionally. I wasn't one who thought that, but there are people who will look at me in my face and tell me I'm wrong because they really believe it. But in any case, when they said that was intentional, oh, no, that's not intentional. It's just Caitlin's stands who are complaining. That's not intentional. All of a sudden, when the Indiana Fever goes all in on gasp, trying to win, all of a sudden, all kinds of corruption is going on to favor Caitlin Clark. It's just funny. Like, I wonder if Gino Auriemma is going to put out a video in which he talks about all the delusional anti-Caitlin Clark fans. Folks are losing their lunch. And here's the thing. This team on paper, absolutely scary for the opposition on paper. But a championship has never been won on paper. You have to go out and play. They hadn't even played a game, barely signed anything. The ink is not even dry yet. And they're already scared and talking about conspiracies and all the nonsense. It's pathetic, but it's humorously pathetic. These same people want to say, oh, yeah, well, you can't mention Caitlin Clark as being one of the greats because she never won a championship. And now that on paper, it's looking like it might be on paper. You got to play it on the court. But now it's like, ugh. I just find it just so ridiculous. I mean, I get it if you're one of the, to use Gino's phrases, one of the delusional, he even called us stupid, if I remember. Caitlin Clark's fans are so stupid. So, I mean, if I was going to use his phrase, which I wouldn't say about anybody, but he would, apparently. But we'll stick with delusional. Like, now there's a whole conspiracy theory and people are just bugging out. And the bigger reason, it's not even just that they're thinking she's going to win a championship, although that's a huge part of it. The other part is that their narrative has gone kablooey. The narrative, you remember, that nobody wants to play with Caitlin Clark, that nobody wants to play with those horrible Indiana Fever fans, that people want to run as far away from them as they possibly can, and that Caitlin Clark, they definitely don't want to play with her because she brings in the toxicity, so they say. So the narrative has been all blown up to smithereens now. That's the biggest part, because through life, whenever narratives get exposed for what they are, people get real squirmy. So what has DeWanna Bonner, now that it's official, said about being in Indiana? Let's take a look before we get back to the anti-Caitlin Clark people who have lost their lunch. In an article entitled "6-Time WNBA All-Star DeWanna Bonner Joins Indiana Fever." Welcome, DeWanna Bonner. I'm not going to read all of this, but it does mention that Indiana Fever signed 2-time WNBA champion DeWanna Bonner as a free agent. And she ranks 4th all-time in scoring. She's been with the Connecticut Sun for 5 seasons. She's been with Stephanie White in 23 and 24. Amber Cox called her one of the greatest players in the history of our league. She points out some of the upsides. And what did DeWanna Bonner, man, try to say that 5 times fast. DeWanna Bonner. Oh, there it is. She says, "I'm extremely thankful to be joining an organization that's on the rise and committed to growing the sport of women's basketball. I'm looking forward to coming in, sharing my leadership and knowledge, and doing my part to help get this team back to its championship pedigree. But more importantly, I'm excited to get to know everyone at the organization, the front office, teammates, behind the scenes employees, and of course, the fans. I can't wait to see everyone at Gainbridge Fieldhouse in May." Oh my goodness. Okay, guys. I mean, you gotta laugh because I see smoke coming out of folks' ears. She said, of course, the fans, not in spite of the fans. Not fans be darned, I'm going to Indiana. No, of course the fans. Of course, y'all. The Indiana Fever has the best fans in the WNBA. The fans of the Indiana Fever actually go to games, buy merchandise. I mean, they're on the waiting list for basketballs that come out. They want tickets to everything possible. They are helping this league grow. Now, y'all just wanted to focus on some trolls out there who are ridiculous, but totally ignore the fan base and demonize them. And DeWanna Bonner just told y'all, of course the fans. I can't wait to see them. Woo, child. Anyway, it goes on to say she ranks 3rd highest in scoring among active players. She's number 4 overall, and she sits just above Fever legend Tamika Catchings in the WNBA's all-time scoring leaderboard. So anyway, I just find that funny. And I know other people are not laughing. They're losing their lunch over it. Let's go into some of the comments about this. I'm over here on Ken Swift's X page, and he responded to someone who said, I just can't believe you guys traded her, talking about DeWanna Bonner, to that team you will be playing 5 times this season. It's almost like you want to hand that team 5 wins. You deserve better, DeWanna. And of course, Ken had to point out, well, of course, like he would say it, hey, WNBA genius, she was a free agent. She chose to go there. She wasn't traded. Okay. And so here's somebody else. He pointed out, Fever fans acting like they getting prime DB and pretending that Howard is prime Stewie. LMFAO. Now, that's a clear indicator that this person is really worried. What else we got? And of course, there's this gem. This is such an obvious setup for Caitlyn to win a championship before Angel. You can't allow the villain of the story to win before the hero. Anyway, it says WWE does a better job of hiding it than this. SMH. This is what I'm talking about, the delusion. This is a setup. A team actually has players who want to come to the team to play with this team, this quality first-class organization, and to play before these fans and with Caitlin Clark. As Natasha Howard said, I can't wait to get my hands on her passes. But now this is an obvious setup. What do you think they're supposed to do? Like pick the scrubs? Anyway, Gino, you better tell him, Gino. And can we be honest? Not everybody is thinking about Angel. In fact, I don't think any team goes into a game with a game plan to try to stop Angel. The conversation about Angel is probably one sentence long, and that is, be sure to box her out. Next, nobody's creating a game plan around Angel. Caitlin Clark is not sitting around trying to figure out how she can outdo Angel. It's just not reality. Here's someone else. I guess this was about Sydney Colson. I don't want this. I feel like they want CC to have this championship ring so bad. Like the Fever, really? Sorry, I'm sad. Someone says, I fully expect the league to make it as easy as possible. Foul calls are going to be looking like the calls Mahomes gets. All right, let's hear a little bit of this. I don't know what the language is going to be. I don't know if this is the one I saw before or not.
Let's see it. I'm really trying here not to crash out, okay? I can't take too much more. I just said the other day, what did I say? Another bomb Sunday. I said, this isn't it. You know, I can't wait to see what the next bomb would be. Didn't know this would be the bomb. Stephanie White ain't playing fair. I have to say it again. Stephanie White is not playing fair. She on one. She on one. Can't falter. That's what good coaches do. She is on one, man. She came in and said, I got some things I need to do, and I'm going to get them done. And I'm going to build around Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell. And I know, you got to give props and props to do. Y'all, the Fever go run some stuff next year. This year, this season. The Fever is going to run amok this year. You got DeWanna Bonner. Oh, my God. They took Sid. And some of y'all really don't feel like Sid was that valuable. Sid, so valuable. To not see Asia, Sid, Chelsea Gray, KP, and Jackie Young together. I'm going to go because I don't really have too much to say right now. Bye.
Okay, that wasn't the hardcore one that I thought it was. At least she gives props and understands what this is supposed to be about. Supposed to be about wins. Supposed to be about assembling a team. There was some other one. Okay, maybe this one is it right here. And if I remember right, this might be the one where she just kind of had to let it loose.
What do you mean Sydney Colson is joining the Indiana Fever? What does that mean? Indiana is just being so fucking greedy right now. They took DB, they took Natasha. Now they got Sydney Colson. Like, why would they take Sydney from us? Why would they take Sydney from us? What the fuck we ever do to Indiana? Except beat them. But like, what the fuck we ever do to Indiana? Indiana better win a chip this year. They better win, or all of this is for nothing. All this shenanigans they're doing, breaking families apart, taking people from us, they better win the chip. Because they just doing too much right. I need somebody to investigate Indiana. I need Indiana investigated. Unfortunately for Indiana, I will be praying on their downfall. I will be praying for them to lose every single game. Like, I just can't. I just can't.
Hopefully that was comedy. I don't know, but it's lunch losing time. Lunch losing time, y'all. Okay, just one more for the road. This is one, I guess, who thinks that Kathy Engelbert orchestrated this. It's 2 minutes, over 2 minutes. I'm probably not going to play the whole thing, but you'll get a little idea of it.
All right, the jig is up, Kathy. And you got to call me a hater from what I'm about to say. I don't care. I'm a big dog. I can stand on it. Kathy made the call. Kathy made the call because you mean to tell me that two-time WNBA champion, the face of the God Dog League, okay? The Aces' main girl, right-hand man, Sydney Colson, is no longer returning to the Aces and is signing with the Indiana Fever? First of all, do the Fever even have any more roster spots open? How many folks are you guys going to sign? What is painfully clear, and what I've talked about in my other videos, is that the league, the Fever organization, are doing everything they should do to make sure their star is happy and that their star gets a ring. I didn't know they were going to load up like this, though. DeWanna Bonner, Sydney Colson, just re-signed Kelsey Mitchell. You already have Aaliyah Boston. You have Caitlin. You have Lexi. You got the MAGA Barbie. Look, this is going to be good and bad for the Fever. And this is going to be good and bad for CC. Because if CC can't get a ring with the Super Avengers that Kathy and the Indiana Fever has assembled, then the Fever better get a ring with this, because Sydney Colson is a two-time WNBA champion.
I'm stopping right there. Stopping you. We have seen enough. Y'all better win a championship. You hear me? Cause all the shenanigans. Anyway, it's just hilarious, shall we say? Kathy Engelbert. I don't know, Kathy. You better not show up with an Indiana Fever dress like you showed up with the New York Liberty dress, because they ain't gonna be able to handle it. Anyway, I'm just saying, people are losing their lunch. Some of these people are delusional. Some of them are having fun with it, I imagine, but there really are some brain gaskets ablown right about now. In any case, the Indiana Fever is doing what a team is supposed to do, and that is give your team the best possible opportunity to win. And when you have, listen, I said this, go back, not even that long ago. You go back when I said that the Indiana Fever is the standard for the league. Was that even 2 weeks ago? It's the standard. And I said then, and I said months ago, that the Indiana Fever is the team where people want to play. Never mind all the narratives, never mind all the stuff about the fans. They want to play here. They want to play with this team. She just mentioned Caitlin, Aaliyah. She mentioned Kelsey. It is what it is. I hope y'all doing okay. Try to keep the lunch down. We'll catch you next time, God willing. Hey, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. I'm having too much fun. Woo! Again, I understand. Let me say this. I understand. And I'll probably do a video about this. This is not a done deal. You have to actually play and win games. But I'd rather be in this situation than in another situation where we're going, what are we going to do? Now we're like, we got some pieces. Now let's get it done. And now the hard work begins. So anyway, again, put your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you next time. I probably won't even get this video up because I have church tonight. So I'll probably have to get it up late. But whenever you see it, let me know what you think. God bless you abundantly.